Stop everything you're doing right now because the NFL rumor mill just exploded in a way nobody saw coming. Hey, and Cowboys fans all across the world are losing their minds. Like in the last few hours, one name has completely taken over social media, sports talk shows, and locker room whispers, and that name is Alvin Kamara. Yes, that Alvin Kamara, one of the most electric, versatile, and dangerous running backs of the last decade, is suddenly being linked to the Dallas Cowboys. And the reason this story is getting so much traction is because it didn't just come from random fans or fake accounts. It came from the way conversations are shifting around the league, from the timing of comments made by Jerry Jones himself, and from the very real situation both the Cowboys and the Saints find themselves in right now. This is not just another wild trade idea. This feels different. This feels serious. And if it happens, it would instantly become one of the biggest and most shocking moves the NFL has seen in years. Let's be clear right from the start so everyone understands exactly what's going on. At the time of this video, there is no official confirmation that a trade has been completed. No paperwork has been filed, no announcement has been made, and no team has stepped up to officially say, yes, this is done. But in the NFL, the biggest moves almost never come out of nowhere. They start with smoke. They start with conversations behind closed doors. They start with carefully chosen words, vague answers, and sudden shifts in direction. And right now, there's a lot of smoke surrounding Alvin Kamara and the Dallas Cowboys. Enough smoke that people around the league are paying very close attention. This entire situation started picking up momentum when discussions around the Cowboys' offense began changing. Dallas is no longer talking like a team that is satisfied with almost. They're no longer acting like a team that just wants to compete. Everything about their tone, their urgency, and their decision-making screams one thing: win now. The Cowboys know their championship window is open, but they also know it won't stay open forever. Dak Prescott is in his prime. CeeDee Lamb is a superstar. The defense is loaded with talent. And yet, there has been one consistent question surrounding this team. Do they have enough offensive firepower when it matters most? Do they have that one player who can take over a game when everything breaks down? That's where Alvin Kamara enters the conversation. Alvin Kamara is not just a running back. He is an offensive weapon in the truest sense of the word. He can run between the tackles, catch passes like a wide receiver, line up in the slot, punish defenses in the red zone, and completely change how opponents have to game plan. For years, he has been the heartbeat of the Saints offense, bailing them out in big moments and carrying the load even when the roster around him wasn't perfect. But the NFL is a business, and situations change fast. The Saints are in a strange place right now, caught between trying to compete and needing to reset. When teams reach that crossroads, veteran stars with value become conversation pieces. That doesn't mean a trade is guaranteed, but it does mean phone calls happen. What made this story explode instead of quietly fade away was Jerry Jones. When Jerry Jones speaks, people listen, especially when he doesn't fully shut something down. Recently, when asked about making a major offensive move, his response was measured, careful, and very telling. He spoke about always looking for ways to improve the team, about being open to opportunities, and about understanding what it takes to win championships. He did not deny anything. He did not say the Cowboys were done making moves, and he certainly didn't act like the roster was set in stone. Anyone who has followed Jerry Jones for years knows exactly what that means. Jerry loves big moves, he loves stars, and he loves being the center of the NFL universe. If there is a chance to bring in a player like Alvin Kamara and make a statement, Jerry Jones is at least listening. From a football standpoint, the fit is almost scary. Imagine Alvin Kamara in a Cowboys uniform lining up next to Dak Prescott in the backfield. Imagine him motioning out wide, forcing a linebacker to follow him, while CeeDee Lamb draws attention on the other side of the field. Imagine defenses trying to decide whether to double Lamb, spy Dak, or account for Kamara out of the backfield. You can't do everything at once. That's how elite offenses are built. That's how mismatches are created. Kamara would instantly give Dallas flexibility they don't currently have, especially in critical third down and red zone situations where creativity matters most. Another reason this rumor feels real is timing. The Cowboys are under pressure. Every season that ends without a deep playoff run increases the noise, the criticism, and the urgency. At some point, standing still becomes the biggest risk of all. Adding a player like Kamara wouldn't just be about stats. It would be about sending a message to the locker room and the rest of the league that Dallas is all in. It would tell players, fans, and critics that this organization is serious about chasing a Super Bowl, not just winning headlines in the regular season. From the Saints' perspective, the situation is more complicated, but that's exactly why a trade is even being discussed. Kamara has given that franchise everything. He's been loyal, productive, and professional. But football teams have to make tough decisions, especially when balancing the present with the future. If New Orleans believes it needs to retool, accumulate assets, or create financial flexibility, moving a star at the right time can be part of that process. That doesn't mean they want to trade Kamara, but it does mean they would listen if the offer was strong enough. And the Cowboys are one of the few teams that could realistically put together an offer that makes sense. Now, let's talk about how this would impact the NFL as a whole, because it wouldn't just be a Cowboys story, it would be a league-wide shockwave. The NFC would instantly look different. Like, teams that thought they had Dallas figured out would have to go back to the drawing board. Defensive coordinators would lose sleep. Primetime matchups would feel bigger. Media coverage would explode. Jerseys would fly off shelves. This is the kind of move that changes narratives overnight. Of course, there are risks, and they're real. Kamara has a lot of mileage. Any team trading for a star running back knows there's wear and tear involved. There are financial considerations. There are chemistry questions. There's always the possibility that a big move doesn't deliver the expected results. But this is the NFL, and championships are rarely won by playing it safe, right? They're won by calculated risks, bold decisions, and believing that the right player in the right system can make all the difference. Fans are already split down the middle, and that's another sign this story has legs. Some Cowboys fans are dreaming about highlight plays, deep playoff runs, and finally breaking through. Others are cautious, worried about cost and long-term consequences. Saints fans are emotional, torn between loyalty to a franchise legend and understanding the realities of the league. And neutral fans are just enjoying the chaos, because this is exactly the kind of drama that makes the NFL king. What makes this moment so fascinating is that nothing has been finalized, yet everything feels possible. The conversations are happening, the speculation is growing, the comments are being analyzed word by word, and every hour that passes without a clear denial only adds fuel to the fire. This is how massive trades are born in the modern NFL. Not with one sudden announcement, but with tension, whispers, and a slow build that keeps everyone guessing. At the end of the day, this story is bigger than just Alvin Kamara or the Dallas Cowboys. Like, it's about ambition, it's about pressure, it's about the never-ending chase for a championship in a league where only one team ends the season happy. Whether this trade happens or not, the fact that it's even being discussed tells us everything we need to know about where Dallas is mentally and organizationally. They are hunting for something more. They are looking for an edge, and they are not afraid to be linked to the biggest name on the board. So now the question gets turned over to you. Yeah, if you're the Cowboys, do you make the call and go all in? Do you take the risk, bring in Alvin Kamara, and reshape your offense overnight? Or do you hold back and trust what you already have? And if you're the Saints, do you make the tough decision to move a star and change direction? Or do you double down and keep him as the face of your franchise? One thing is undeniable. If Alvin Kamara ever puts on a Cowboys jersey, the NFL will feel the impact immediately. The headlines will explode. The debates will rage, and the balance of power could shift in ways nobody fully expects. Until something is officially announced, all eyes remain on Dallas, on New Orleans, and on Jerry Jones, because when he's quiet but not dismissive, history tells us something big could be coming next.